Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. I will stay working. Oh man. You know what? This is going to be a little bit more relaxed than what I usually do, but I just needed to make this statement. Because last week I talked about most American men, many American men, not most, but many American men are not working. And, I had a commenter come on there, which I ain't gonna lie, I deleted it because I didn't respect the comment. Talking about, we don't work on for slave wages and all of that. Okay, but who's supposed to take care of you as a man? I'm serious, just for the men listening. I understand the job ain't paying what you would like. But look, I'm going to be real. There's some people who try to get into those jobs, they don't have any skill level. They don't have any skill level. They don't have experience, but, they want a job so they can buy a home and everything with it. Nah, just be real. Because that's going to depend on where you live and everything. Because it ain't just that simple for the company to pay you money. Shoot, most of them could barely pay themselves. I've known of jobs, years ago. They couldn't even get the managers, couldn't even get raises or anything. Only people maybe making money is like extreme stockholders and maybe the very, very top executives. Even they might not be getting raises, not that they need them. But forget all of that. If you don't work as a man, who's going to take care of your ass? You might not like the job, but at least you can put yourself in a position. You might have to get 2 or 3 jobs. And plenty of men will do that to take care of themselves. Now, I will stay working. I'm going to tell you what. I remember when we had the COVID lockdowns, they had so many businesses out. And I remember I told some people, I was all right because I'm doing YouTube. It was perfect for me. I actually made more money during that period. But what if I wasn't? What if I was still working retail? What if I was still working retail or some other job that got shut down? I would be like, I'll go work at a gas station. I'll go find something. I say, look, somebody's still open. I hit up Amazon or something. I say, look, I'll just work in the warehouse. Something like that. Because the thing is, I'm always going to stay working because my attitude was I'm going to make money. Now, if I got to work 2 or 3 jobs to get that money to live well, I'm going to do that. Because as a man, you want to be in a position where you have some money in your pocket. You move through the world differently. You get more choices. See, if you're not working or something, okay, are you comfortable living with a family member as an adult? No, I'm dead serious. Are you comfortable with that? Are you in a situation you can just bring over a young lady to the home? Or that you even want to see you do that? Or you got to play by their rules? You got to play by the rules of whoever you living. Now, I understand if you got to stay with somebody while you getting back on your feet, while you looking for something. But see, you got some guys, well, we just gonna sit back and chill. We was like, nah, they ain't paying enough. Well, here's something with that. If you get on a job, they might not start you off at something, but if you have that mindset of working, you can move up. I always told the story when I first started working that retail job at that major store. I started off minimum wage, and then they gave me a raise in 2 weeks. Because of how I was working. They needed to keep me around because I was like, they wanted me on the job more. I was part-time, minimum wage. They gave me more money. And I've known people on different jobs at gyms. I remember I was working at one gym. And these 2 guys came in. And within a month, they were both in managerial positions. They skipped over me. Because they were there full-time. I was just there part-time. But they skipped over me because of how hard they were working. And see, the thing is, you got to work. As a man, you got to stay, you're going to stay busy. You're going to do what you got to do to get that money. Getting back to that thing, if during the lockdown, if I was on a job, you know what? I probably wouldn't even reach out for unemployment because I say, okay, somebody's open. There were plenty of jobs still open during that time. There were plenty of jobs, and because I would stay hustling. Because I always joke about having 1,000 jobs. I actually did because I couldn't sit still. You know, I was been working since I was 14. Been working since I was 14. Even when I was in college, I was, might have had some type of little job or something. Sophomore is college, I was making some money reffing intramural football games. I always had to keep money going. You know, it's DJing, working with a DJ friend of mine, getting some money from him. Because I'm gonna tell you what, as a man, when you got that money flowing, it gives you the power to do. We live in a world where we don't necessarily, overwhelming majority of people don't hunt for their food or build their own homes. And heck, the way things are, you gotta have licenses and everything just to even do that. You can physically build your own home, but you still gotta get licenses, you gotta pay for the materials and everything. So you need money. So you gotta keep going. Now I'm saying me because I know some people are still gonna be like, well, they ain't paying a living wage, or they're just controlling and bossing me there. Well, yeah. If you don't have a skill level or you gotta start with something, that's what you gotta do. But let me tell you something I did. I would make it on every single job I've been on. I would make it so that they might start off trying to boss, but I don't take it well. But I would be so competent they wouldn't do that. They didn't feel the need to check my work. Like I remember when I was working at this one gym, and part of my job working on the desk was to count like the money for the night and everything. And I remember this was when I was training this young lady, and I told a story about her. Me and her didn't get along at first. So I was training her, we did the money thing, and she put her name on it too. I was training it. And then she wanted to present it to the manager to look at it. He was like, oh no, I trust Ron. He didn't even look at it. In fact, I was a person at another gym. I was training other people how to count the till. But they had so much, I got to the point, like no matter what I started at, I would make more money. See, that's this very simple thing. But sometimes you're gonna have to do some stuff you don't wanna necessarily do. I ain't necessarily wanna work retail. Shit. But situation at the time, I had to do what I had to do. So I made the best out of it because the key was, my mindset is I'm going to bring in money. Heck, even now, I make very good money doing what I'm doing, but I still be keeping my eye out. And there was a point I was thinking about getting a job at a warehouse just for something to do because I just like money flowing in. Don't really need it, and I don't have the time, really. But you got to keep it going. And no, it's going to be tough. Nobody's going to be giving like enough money. I mean, let's just be real. Let's just keep it a buck. Nobody's going to, unless you highly educated, graduating from a professional school at the top of your class, you're not going to start off making like the money like that. They're going to start you off at a certain point, especially if you don't have skill, because that's the whole point of minimum wage. To get you in the job and start you off and train you in the job. But then if you're good at it, you can get a raise. See, people want to start off at like a certain amount, but why should they? Unless you're in a certain job and you highly skilled. Now, if you highly skilled, it's a specific thing that requires someone with a specific profession. Okay, I understand that. But you got a lot of people, they don't want to work. They want to make high salary. They don't even have training in what they want to work in. And I was like, why should they pay you enough? And really, they talk about the minimum wage and stuff. Okay, but here's the problem with that. Should they be paying all this money for somebody who don't have skill, who has to be trained in the job? And if you got all that skill, why don't you go to that job to be a manager? Seriously. It is, as a man, you need to stay working. As a man, you just got to start where you got to start. Like I said, I will always tell that story. I'm starting off on a retail job part-time minimum wage. And just in a couple weeks, really just a week, they saw how hard I was working. They wanted me around more. And I said, y'all got to give me more money. Boom. In fact, other managers who would come into that job who didn't know me, they peeped that. They say, "You damn, you ain't stay on this too long." And there was a couple times, like when I was at that retail job, the company had a major restructuring and stuff, and they got rid of some people. And I remember the manager was chomping at the bit to give me an interview for a higher position. And he actually had to wait because there was something going on in the family. But he had already decided, and the interview was just basically a formality. But I worked to get there, you know? So, but the thing is, the bottom line is you just gotta have that work ethic. You say, okay, I'm gonna start off here, I'm gonna move up to a higher level. You know? I know this woman, she was a second mother to me. She got a part-time job cleaning, just working for somebody cleaning. A few years later, she's basically running stuff, making more money, buying cars for her kids and just giving them away. She was making so much money. Property, everything. Look, the thing is, as a man especially, you guys just have that work ethic. And no, they ain't gonna start you off like that. But look, here's a secret. I don't care what a job is. They might, even if they start you off minimum wage, you can always move up from that. I've experienced it personally, and I've known too many who've gotten raises just because they say, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this extra. Seriously, don't get caught up into it, because if you good at what you do, you're a good worker, you can always move up. But you have to start with that mindset, like, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna take care of it. And as a man, you're gonna need it. You can't live off, you wanna live off somebody else? Look, I'll tell you straight up, that's some weak shit. Seriously. Unless you have some type of neurological impediment, you know, you on a spectrum or something, you don't got no excuse. No, seriously, you don't got no excuse. And I'll say that too. I've had that mentality. There was a summer job I had. I was cleaning streets and did a great job there. I did, because me and the crew, we were cleaning the streets. We weren't bitching anything. We were cleaning streets in one of the toughest neighborhoods in DC at the time. And I just always had that mindset. I said, shit, if I can clean the streets, I can do whatever. You know? You just got to do what you got to do as a man. All right? So I would stay working. Like I said, if something happened on YouTube, social media, I ain't worried about it. I already got the plan to start a retail chain. And if I got to work for somebody to like bring some money in to help get that started, I'll do that too. So I want y'all to really think about that, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.